Welcome to the Henry Ford's Innovation Nation. I'm Mo Rocca. Today, you're going to be in awe.
Coming up, hitting the highway with a computer chauffeur. How the king of cars became the sultan of soy. The mouse on your arm making double clicks a snap. And how helium helps harness the highest pollen. All that now on the Henry Ford's Innovation Nation.
Driver's ed was a popular class at my high school. There was so much to learn. Parallel parking, all those street signs. Quick, is a yield an upside down or regular triangle? But driver's ed of the future may be a very short class. I mean, how long does it take to learn, get in the car, now read a book? Allie Ward explains.
When you're young, driving a car is the coolest thing ever. But after spending years sitting in hideous traffic, torturous family road trips, and circling the mall for a parking spot, you might be thinking, when will they come up with a magic car that can just drive me around by itself? Good news is, companies like Google are working on it. Bad news is, it'll be years before you can buy one. In the meantime, there's Cruise, a device you can add to your existing car that turns it into a self-driving one. Cruise was developed by self-described car nut Kyle Vogt. I heard Kyle and his team worked out of a garage in San Francisco. Oh, it's a garage. This is a garage.
This is the garage. This is where everything is designed and built right here. I've been interested in automotive technology since I was at least 13. That was the first time I actually tried doing a self-driving car. I built this car and put a computer and a webcam on it and taught it to drive following the yellow line in a parking lot.
Kyle works with a group of engineers building each Cruise unit. It's similar to the automatic pilot on airplanes, and it could have a huge impact on highway safety.
Every year there's over 1 million car accidents in the US alone, and the scary thing is that 90% are caused by the drivers themselves, the humans behind the wheel. And so that represents an enormous opportunity for the machines to improve.
What's he doing?
So Kevin is working on controls. Once the car estimates where it needs to be on the road, to send those commands to the steering motor. And doing it in a way where it's very smooth and doesn't overshoot or oscillate is very difficult science, almost like an art. These are the computer vision guys. They figure out what's in the camera image, where the lane markers are, and try to figure out where the vehicle is relative to the road.
Okay, so Kyle, I'm looking at this and I can tell that it's Cruise related, yes?
This is it, yeah, and we call this the sensor pod. So all the sensors that this vehicle needs to drive itself are in this one unit here. So it's got the cameras, the radar, and the GPS all in this box. The next part of the system is the drive-by-wire interface, which you can't really see, but we've installed underneath the steering column so we can control your steering wheel, your gas pedal, and your brake pedal while the system's running. The last piece ties it all together. It's the brain, which is our computer system that's in the trunk here.
Oh, there's a computer in the trunk. Yeah, let's visit it. Thinking back here. Ah, that's it?
Yep, here it is. So, yeah, everything, all the processing is done right here. This computer takes in data from the sensors, from the sensor pod, and sends out signals to the actuators to drive your car, and that's it.
All right, so now that we know how it works, can we take it for a drive?
Yeah, let's take it for a spin.
Okay, good. I'm like a tiny bit scared, like the tiniest bit, because no one's driving the car.
Are we ready to go?
We're ready.
Welcome to Cruise.
It just welcomed us.
Yeah, so it's telling us everything's good and we're ready to go. So I'm gonna give it a shot here and see what happens.
All right. Oh my gosh! It's haunted with science. Oh my gosh, it's like twitching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just making minor corrections as it notices us drifting to the left or to the right.
Wait, you're sitting, your feet are not on any pedals, your hands are not on any wheels, and we are going down the freeway at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, we're cruising.
Right now, Cruise is only meant for driving on highways. Since it's not a fully automated car, it falls under the same regulations as your car's cruise control. And we kept driving much more efficiently than other people around us.
We're staying within about 10 to 20 centimeters of the exact center of the lane, whereas most people driving around here are closer to a meter off center.
Yeah, look, what is he doing? He's driving so much worse than us, and we're not driving.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No hands.
But Cruise is designed to work on most cars made after 2012. and kits will be available starting next year.
The technology we have on this car is designed in a way that it would be easy to move it from one car to another. So the computer won't change, the sensors won't change, just the way they're mounted in the car.
Cruise, disengage.
I'm ready to go.
Bye. Bye. Does she have a name, that lady?
No, we haven't named her.
What? Her name is Leslie.
Leslie's good,
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks, Leslie. I would take life advice from that lady. If she were like, trim your bangs, I would be like, okay.
Coming up, sorry I'm late, a goat ate my car. Flexing your way through future flight. And pulling power from the heavens above. But first, it's time for the Mo You Know. One of the biggest musical groups of the 1960s was the Monkees, from the TV show the same name. One band member's mother was the inventor of the typing correction fluid, liquid paper. Was it A, Davy Jones, B, Michael Nesmith, C, Mickey Dolenz? Now don't take that last train to Clarksville, because the answer's coming up. Well, cheer up, Sleepy Jean, because we're back. Before the break, we asked which monkey's mother was also a mother of invention. If you said B, Michael Nesmith, then you are a daydream believer, and you're correct. Liquid paper was created by Bet Nesmith Graham. In the 1950s, she was a single mom and bank secretary in Texas. Graham began using thin white paint and a tiny brush to cover up mistakes in her typing. She called it Mistake Out. Bet later changed the name, got a patent, and became the queen of typo correction. That's the Mo You Know.
Beans, they're all kinds. Black, white, red, the Mexican jumping bean. But it's the soybean that's really become the leader of legumes, the prince of protein. And there was once a day where the soybean was also one smooth ride.
When you think of American inventor Henry Ford, you naturally think automobile, the Model T, assembly lines. But before he found industrial success, Henry Ford had rural beginnings. He was raised on a farm, and even after he'd moved from farming to factories, Henry Ford kept a place in his heart for all things pastoral. And at the intersection of his farming past and his factory future was the soybean. His vision for the soybean was big, and he began planting acres of farmland with soybeans and dreaming up every possible use for his favorite crop. Inside Henry Ford's soybean experimental laboratory, curator of transportation Matt Anderson filled me in on Ford's ambitious vision for the modest soybean. The most obvious use, food.
Soybean had been around for thousands of years in Asia, but it really didn't take off in the United States until the early 20th century. Henry Ford saw a lot of great potential in the soybean for solving food needs. It was a great animal feed for one, but then he thought it might even help with humans. And he was famous for serving whole meals made of nothing but soybean products.
Like what?
Well, tomato soup with soy sauce, or apple pie with a soybean crust, soy milk, soy ice cream, soy biscuits, soy butter, you name it, he tried it.
Perhaps a more obvious, though abstract, application for Henry Ford to explore with the soybean would be automobiles. I suppose it should come as no surprise that the man whose name is synonymous with the Model T would try to build a car from this miracle crop.
And what's this about the edamame Edsel?
Henry Ford was big on using soy-based plastics in his cars, and a lot of the Fords had soy-based plastic horn buttons, switches, gear shift knobs, that kind of thing. The ultimate realization, though, was in 1941 when Ford introduced a soy-based plastic car, completely made with a body out of soy plastic.
Using his showman's flair, Henry Ford demonstrated the strength of the soybean car by swinging an axe as hard as he could at the trunk. No dent, no scratch. So what became of it?
It was just a one-time prototype car. It never made it into production, and the big problem was World War II got in the way. So, they ended all civilian production of automobiles, and the soy car sort of fell by the wayside.
Wouldn't like some animal try to eat it?
There were stories of goats eating parts of soy-built cars and so forth, but, that's the risk you take when you're an innovator.
Despite what would appear to be many soy setbacks in Henry Ford's time, No doubt he'd be pleased to see the soy on our tables today. Soybeans, soy milk, soybean curd, aka tofu, and soy sauce.
Henry Ford, soy sauce, regular or low sodium?
Low sodium, only way to go.
Is that what he would have done?
Yeah, I think he would have. He was a real health nut.
Cheers to the soybean.
To the soybean.
After a break, muscling your way through video games, and windmills giving lonely clouds some company. These stories and vocabulary up next. But right now, here's more of the Mo You Know. Who was the original inventor of the moonwalk? Was it A, Michael Jackson, B, Bill Bailey, or C, Neil Armstrong? We'll have that answer coming up. Welcome back. Just a few minutes ago, we asked, who was it that invented the moonwalk? If you said A, Michael Jackson, you are wrong. It was B, Bill Bailey. Bailey was a tap dancer and brother of famed singer Pearl Bailey. Bill Bailey appeared in the 1943 movie Cabin in the Sky. He busted the backward move that he called the backslide. 40 years later, Michael Jackson stunned the world when he made the moonwalk his signature dance move. That's the the Mo You Know.
You know, I'm glad that when the computer mouse was invented, it wasn't too big, because then they might have had to call it the computer rat. And that would have made this next story really creepy, because the mouse in it is crawling up your arm. Here's Adam Yamaguchi.
Okay, we all know what this is, but did you know that this is the newest version of the mouse? Only it's not called a mouse, it's called Myo, a device that reads the movements of your arm muscles and using Bluetooth technology transmits your gesture commands into action on your computer screen, gaming device, or presentation. 25-year-old Stephen Lake is the innovator responsible for moving this mouse from your hand up to your elbow. I traveled to Kitchener, Ontario, near Toronto, the Silicon Valley of Canada, to visit Stephen at his company, Thalmic Labs.
Welcome to Thalmic Labs. This is where we've created the Myo Armband here. Under this one roof, we do all of the engineering behind Myo. So we build the sensors inside here that pick up your muscle activity. We design the manufacturing processes, the software, the applications, all of that. There's so many different parts that go into building a product like this.
So tell me a little bit about how this works.
So the Myo Armband picks up the electrical activity from the muscles in your forearm. So when I have this band on here and I make a different gesture, my brain sends signals down my nerve, the nerve innervates that muscle, and each pod here on the armband is picking up the electrical signals from the muscles in that part of your arm as they're activated.
What are some of the basic and universal controls that you've developed into this?
So the basic gestures built into Myo from the muscle activity we see here would be making a fist, very simple, making a fist, opening your hand, spreading your fingers apart, waving to the right or to the left, or finally this unlock gesture we use of tapping your thumb to your pinky finger. The bottom graph there is called the pitch, so if I have my arm up and down, you're gonna see the sensors picking up that information. If I go kind of to the left or right here, we pick up what's called the yaw information, and finally the roll, the very top graph there. And you can see the virtual Myo on the screen, of course, rotating as well.
If you're a gamer, the Myo is a game changer because it's small and sleek, immersing you in your game without having to wear a bulky head device or finding the sweet spot in front of a sensor.
We often see new technology will kind of make its way into gaming first and then spread into other areas.
You can play any game that's integrated with Myo, allowing your movements and gestures to manipulate the game's controls. And if that wasn't enough...
No way, are we going to be flying this with the Myo?
Exactly, yeah. So I'm going to use the Myo to control the drone through the tablet here.
Wow.
It only takes a snap of your fingers to fire up a drone.
So when I wave out, it'll fly up. When I wave in, it'll fly down. I actually can grab control of it by making a fist and angling my fist in any direction. So if I roll my fist left, it'll bank left. If I pull my fist back, it'll bank backwards. If I drop my hand and don't make a fist, I can just have it hover. And when I snap my fingers,
You just landed it with a snap.
The Mayo is in the final stages of development, but I use this prototype to test my skills flying the drone, which takes some practice and finesse.
Okay, how do I stop it?
But I eventually got the hang of it.
now wave in with your wrist. Let it go.
Wow. You guys keep going on with the show. I'm going to be playing here for a while.
Coming up, the wind on high, bringing power down to earth. That and vocabulary is next.
One of the things Mother Nature has in her toolbox is wind, and she is fickle with it. Sometimes she likes to drop that wind low and pick it up slow. Other times she puts the wind high in the air like she just don't care. But now, no matter where she puts the wind, there's an innovation that can capture it.
Mankind has been trying to harness wind power for centuries, using everything from sails on ships to windmill farms, to even that melon baller thingy you see spinning around. Now, innovator and MIT graduate Ben Glass has developed a buoyant airborne turbine, better known as the Bat. This turbine resembles a modern windmill, only it's surrounded by an inflatable shell that floats way up in the sky, capturing strong high-altitude winds.
We all sort of have an intuitive understanding that the winds are stronger as you get up higher, whether it's from flying a kite or being on the top of a mountain or a tall building. As the winds get stronger, the power available in the wind goes up quite quickly.
Ben and his team at Alteros Energies had to figure out a way to put a big windmill high in the sky and keep it there. They researched the design of blimps and the weight load that they carry in the sky. They also realized the tether line used to keep the wind turbine from floating away could also transfer the power from the Bat to a generator on the ground.
Core technology is what we call a helium-filled inflatable shell. It's basically a ring wing that surrounds the turbine. It's filled with helium, which provides buoyant lift. So even when there aren't any winds blowing, the system will basically just float up there like a balloon. A lot of the design has been on the aerodynamic aspects of the inflatable shell, which begins to act more like a kite rather than a balloon. It allows it to function aloft in high winds without getting blown down to the ground or becoming unstable.
The Bat will hover up to 2,000 feet above ground on its own, automatically moving higher or lower to find the best winds. Floating wind turbines could help bring vital energy to the 300,000 remote communities around the world not connected to any type of power grid. But is the Bat safe for airborne wildlife and humans buzzing around in airplanes?
The turbine is actually surrounded by this big inflatable structure. The birds can see it and avoid it, so they won't fly into the region with the blades, and that makes it a lot more friendly for birds and bats and other avian life. There are lighting requirements and visibility requirements, and there will be a transponder so that general aviation aircraft will know where it is.
The first commercial test is currently underway in Alaska, and the Bat is getting lots of interest from developing nations. In the near future, you might see a floating wind turbine hovering over the shopping mall, keeping the lights on for that midnight sale. In a moment, remember that smart girl who always won the spelling bee? Well, she grew up to be Allie Ward, and she has vocabulary next.
Hey, welcome back. This is where I bring you vocabulary. Now, I'm pretty sure you're not sitting there with a dictionary looking up all the big words that we use on the show, so it's my job to look them up for you. And we call that vocabulary. Now, in Mo's story about the Henry Ford soybean lab, he said,
And even after he'd moved from farming to factories, Henry Ford kept a place in his heart for all things pastoral.
So pastoral is an adjective. It means of or relating to the countryside or to the lives of the people who live in the country. So in the story, it means you can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy. And I'm not gonna sing for you because we tried that once. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. And it did not go well. Now, in Adam's story on the armband mouse, this was said.
My brain sends signals down my nerve, the nerve innervates that muscle, and each pod here on the armband is picking up the electrical signals from the muscles in that part of your arm as they're activated.
Now, innervate is a verb. It means to stimulate a nerve to activity. So that mouse is actually feeling the inside of your arm. And I'm not gonna lie, those words sound just a whisker creepy. Just a little bit. And that is your vocabulary for the week. I'm Allie Ward.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Someday you too can be on the Henry Ford's Innovation Nation. Just remember, dream big and don't quit. I'm Mo Rocca.